So this mess right here is the spare engine harness sort of sitting on top of the S52. This is basically my final check. I have a standard MAF over there. The harness is the only thing I haven't rolled out yet. And since I haven't redone anything under the intake manifold, I have my starter wire here, so you guys will get to experience with me whether this does anything or not. There's a lot of residual gas in there apparently. I don't even have fuel injectors hooked up to the new harness. I've just got these 17-pounders here sitting here, so I guess it's the harness. So I'll be ripping it down and replacing the harness. Stupid problem to have since both these came off running cars, but I guess that'll teach me to cut off the plugs I think I don't need before I even get the car running, so oops. Still residual gas. That thing was flooded. Gross. Well, as much as it's hard to self-motivate, I'm gonna try to get this harness that was sitting on top on the engine and then get everything plugged in and just see if I can get it to run on stock injectors. Oh, shoot. No, I think I'm gonna try to run it on the Miller setup because changing out injectors is kind of a bitch. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to try to get the harness on there, but the videos are not going to be super common while I'm doing this because I want to turn on some music for motivation. But next time you see a cut, you should see the harness that's currently on top plugged in. So here's the old harness. I noticed the intake was a little wet in a couple areas, so what I did is I actually hot wired the fuel pump. And it turns out injector number 1 and 5 are leaking down pretty badly, which is ridiculous because these are brand new injectors. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I might just have to order a new set of 60-pounders and call it a loss, but I'm tempted to throw the green tops I have, I guess they're on that harness right now, and just, you know, get it running with the 17-pound injectors and then sort this out, replace them later. I'll figure that out once I get it back together, but right now still working on the harness. Bummer though. Well, she's naked once again. No harness whatsoever. Time to start snaking that one back into place. Ugh. Well, here we are. That E34 automatic harness is on, and I think it's all connected. Obviously, things are a little out of place where they should be, but I just want to test fire it and see if it'll go. Nope, still have to connect the coils, looks like, but I've got everything else hooked up. I've actually got the Miller chipped ECU on it. I've got the turbo MAF on it. I've still got the leaky 60-pounders on it, so that might be a bad move, but I'm going to connect the coils and try to crank it here and hope for the best. Well, shoot guys, I'm pretty excited now. I'll take that as that being the issue. I don't even care. The E34 harness has got a little bit shorter ECU loom, so I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to shove that under the dash, but I'll figure that out. The diagnostic port's on the correct side of the engine bay though, so that's a plus. Yeah, I don't know. It is running the Miller computer. It's running the 60-pound injectors, which I have to remember to replace because they're still leaking down. Turbo is really not even bolted on the manifold yet. Obviously none of the charge piping's hooked up. I really want to blow out the intercooler first because there's a lot of aluminum debris in there that I'd rather not get ingested by this gorgeous S52. But yeah, so it's going to be tightening down the turbo, sorting out the charge piping. I have to make a down pipe, which is going to entail relocating the clutch fluid. Oh, sorry. Relocating the clutch fluid reservoir, since this is right-hand drive. And then, yeah, that downpipe's going to be tricky. Probably have to get some heat shield behind there, but everything over here fits really nicely. That E21 booster seems like it's perfect, so just basically little stuff. Now, I was noticing that it looks like my oil filter housing gasket, or oil filter gasket, I guess, is leaking. So I'm gonna have to, I guess, get a new O-ring. I'm sure I have spares of those somewhere, but it's a little weird. The oxygen sensor lead I pulled up here on the automatic E34s. It's typically down by the engine mount, but I'm gonna have to run that over to the downpipe along with my wideband. So, still definitely more to do. Oh yeah, I have to do a new drain line too for the turbo. That one's in a decent spot, but it's touching the manifold, and those hoses do not last when they're touching that hot stuff. So, hey, it runs. Should be thrilling for you guys like it is for me, I hope. It's been a long time coming. I think I've been working on this longer than I've been at my new job, so oof. Anyway, yeah, I'll probably plug away a little bit more on it today, but nothing too big. Then, like I said, start on the other stuff next time I'm out here. So, I just had to kind of see what sort of space we're working with, and this is a 2.5 inch stainless pipe here. Even that's gonna have to get ovaled pretty good to fit by that steering shaft. Oofta.